You want to just get some B-roll?
Yeah.
It's right in the policy letters in Keeping Scientology Workable. We'd rather have you dead than incapable. That's the training attitude.
That was your mindset?
Yeah.
For 27 years?
Well, for 22 years. First 5 years I was pretty laid back. Scary, huh? Makes you wonder what I'm capable of, right?
A little bit.
Yeah.
The brilliance of what Theroux has done in documentaries like The Most Hated Family in America is that he puts himself in a camera in front of regular people with some pretty irregular beliefs, and he lets them do the talking. He gently probes, he quietly listens with a bit of a frown on his face, and lets them fill in the empty space. Most people find prolonged silences to be uncomfortable, so they just start talking. This allows them to highlight and justify what they're thinking and doing, and the subjects end up literally speaking for themselves. It can be quite shocking what some people reveal simply because they're talking to fill a silence. With some mild probing on Theroux's part, he has done some amazingly insightful interviews that really showed you where these people were coming from, why they believed the way they did, and what drove them to act in such irrational ways.
That's what we're doing.
Are you afraid of going to hell?
I fear the wrath of God. I fear going to hell. But I certainly hope I won't go there.
I think you laughed at the idea of me in hell because maybe it made you feel like you weren't going to hell.
I laughed at the thought of you going to hell because I know you, Louis, and you're a scoffer and a mocker. And it gives me pleasure to know that the Lord will vindicate his people and he will glorify his own name, because that's all this is about. It's glorifying God. So that's why I smile.
I don't care about all that nonsense. I'm telling you that we're the ones who are strictly adhering to the doctrines of faith of all the mainline religions. They're not, we are. So what else you got?
For some reason, Louis did not do that here, and in hindsight, I couldn't really see why, except that he chose Marty Rathbun as the main subject of his film. As Marty put it, he was Scientology's #2 man for years. If he had gone deeper, Theroux would have been better prepared and understood why his usual style as an interviewer and documentarian wasn't going to work on someone like Rathbun. Interviewing a former top-level Scientologist who did work for the Office of Special Affairs is similar to interviewing someone who works at the highest levels of the NSA or intelligence divisions of the government. Theroux was up against active training and indoctrination to prevent people like him from finding out things the subject doesn't want to talk about. Marty actually told him as much when they were doing the Scientology drills.
I think if you've seen in the public eye, people who are prominent Scientologists, they have a sort of very forceful bearing, an intentional type of personality. That's essentially what these things drill in. Start. You are one ugly motherfucker, you know that? Flunk ever so slightly. Start. You are one ugly motherfucker, you know that? Okay. Flunk, you twitched. This is the make-break point here. Now you're going to teach somebody how to have some forbearance and tolerance and ability to take some shit, you know.
Marty went in prepared to talk about as much as he was willing to talk about, which, to be fair, was a lot. But that was it. Louis did not budge him even once, and about halfway through the movie, that starts to become clear to Louis himself.
Do you find my questions inane in general?
In general, no. I'm just, you know, but the ones you're asking now, I mean, I find, I just don't understand why you're asking them like you're asking them. What's the purpose of this?
Yesterday, it seemed like you, a couple of times, maybe I was getting on your nerves a little bit.
Is that a statement? I'm sorry you got that impression.